Hi everybody, Tracey Jude here, and I would like to show you a technique that puts kind of everything I've shown you already together, all in the mind. Now before you start looking at me weird, I get it, okay? Haven't you once been told you can do anything you put your mind to, right? Yeah, me too. There's tons of music out there to inspire that, and this is no different. We're just going to put our mind to work the way it was designed to do. I have used this for pain control. I have taught this technique to my students, and it has worked within our lessons. In fact, I want to share a story about that. One student, a soprano, came to me for voice lessons and told me she didn't have her high notes anymore, and she was now an alto in their school choir. And I said, you know what? Let's see what's going on with your sinuses. Breathe. And she did those, and she was congested. So she wasn't aware that she really couldn't breathe well with her mouth closed. And we knew exactly which side it was. That doesn't really matter so much because the technique I'm going to show you is going to apply to both sides of your sinuses at once. But to get back to the story, we spent about 10 minutes doing this exercise. She got done with it and said, wow, that's awesome. We got back to the lesson. She started singing, and we finished the lesson singing Phantom of the Opera, which is no alto solo. She had her high notes back. And I hope to this day she's still doing this exercise and she remembers it. So the sinuses were designed to drain, not to congest. We call it drainage when we feel it in the throat. It's not drainage, it's sinus drip. So that is a big distinction between drainage and drip. When the sinuses drain properly, they drain the toxins, the virus, the bacteria, the allergens, anything that goes up your nose, gets drained into your lymphatic system and out the body through sweating, and I won't go into any other things. You can imagine. So that's the way it should work. We don't even notice it. All we notice is free and proper breathing with our mouth closed. That's the goal of these exercises. And these particular exercises are going to put the mind to work more so without the aid of our hands. So here we go. You've maybe used a Breathe Right strip before. If you're viewing these videos, you've had sinus issues. So you may be familiar with the Breathe Right strips. Their goal is to part the sinuses and really open up those airways, right? And it works beautifully. Okay, and I'm not going to say any more about that. If you're using them with success, that's great. Keep using them. But the mind can do the same thing. And you can activate that at any time, anywhere. And I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to imagine that my smile is not down here. It's right up here, across the bridge of my nose. Interesting, right? Well, we were taught in choir, smile with your eyes, kids, because the mouth is busy producing good vocal sound. Well, if we can smile with our eyes, we can do a lot of things with that smile. So we can visualize the smile is up here across the bridge of the nose, and it stretches from ear to ear. So take a minute and just try that with me. The actual smile does not move. You do not actually smile. Go ahead and exhale. Keep breathing. And with each exhale, you are going to stretch this mental smile from ear to ear, gradually slowly. How do your sinuses feel down here in the lower part behind your, or under your eyes? Make note of that. If you're not feeling anything, keep practicing, but there are other places you can place this smile, because we have 3 places where the sinuses actually reside. There are cavities up here, here, and behind the eyes. So we've just addressed here. Now you're going to move that smile between your eyes and your eyebrows. Again, from ear to ear. Exhale. Focus your mind, stretching your smile. And feel it part your sinuses. I'm actually feeling it there. How about you? No? Let's move on to the third area, the sphenoid sinuses, which are behind the eyes. So the smile goes 2 inches behind your eyes, and it goes from eye to eye, not ear to ear. Exhale. And each exhale, you continue to stretch that smile to its destination. Yep, feeling it there too. How about you? Did you feel it in any of the 3 places? Chances are, if you didn't feel it in the frontal sinuses, you would feel something clear up a little bit in the sphenoid sinuses, because that is the first place pathogens go. It's the safest place. So when you are congested in the frontal sinuses, you are also going to be congested in the sphenoid sinuses. So it's a good practice to apply this to all 3 sinus cavities so that you can engage it anywhere you need to. But the sphenoid sinuses are the first place that pathogens like to go. So if you can keep those cleared out on a daily basis, you're ahead of the game. Okay, you won't have to do so much of the mental imagery here or here. Make sense? Yeah, it makes sense to me too, and it has for the past 15 years. So give it a try, and you can let me know how it works for you. If you need to reach me for questions, I'll post my information at the end of this video. So let's move on to how you can use your mind to stretch your face. Now, we've stretched the smile, and if a smile doesn't quite work for you, think of something else that parts sinuses that would work for you. Okay? You could even maybe imagine your hands are doing that. But I just thought I would use a smile, and it works for me pretty well. So now we're going to stretch the face. But nobody's ever going to notice this because it's a mental stretch. So while I demonstrate this, I want to tell you a story about the power of the mind as taught to me by a friend in a wheelchair. So I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to stretch from my eyes to my chin. And all of this is just going to relax and get really long here. My teeth will part. But most importantly, all of this kind of clears up. Again, it's easiest to start with an exhale, using that exhale to remind you to stretch whatever you need to stretch. So you can do that with your eyes open. You can do that while you're speaking. Again, practice is going to allow you to apply this instantaneously, easily, and effortlessly. And you probably won't even realize you're doing it. You'll just realize you've got better health as a result. So here's the story. My friend was in a wheelchair from an accident as a 16-year-old in a car. And he was paralyzed from the chest down, which means he had hand function and he could maneuver his wheelchair, and he had head function. And so he was quite an asset where we worked. I went to him one day and said, "Hey, what do you do to relieve stress, knowing that I could get up and take a walk?" He told me that he does it mentally. And he walked me through his process of how he just calms the body, calms the mind through focused mindfulness and actually putting his mind to work to achieve this. So that was the first time I realized, wow, somebody's mind can do this well. Mine wasn't there yet, but it's getting there. A more recent story is I kind of injured my knee, and there was some pain still after 4 weeks of rehabbing it and watching it kind of come along and improve. There was still a certain amount of pain that I would feel just before I got out of bed. So it would kind of wake me up, I guess. I didn't have the energy to go get an ice pack. I didn't have the energy to go get the tool that I used to massage my knee. But I knew what those felt like. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it with my mind. And the pain instantaneously left. I could actually feel the pulses of that massage tool getting into the crevices of the knee, which would be, if this is where your knee is, would be right about in here, where ligaments attach. And I couldn't dig that far with my own hands, and my massage tool couldn't get that far. Plus, I was tired. I'd want to stay in bed. So the mind did it for me. And the pain left instantaneously. Okay? Did it go away and stay away? Not with just that one event. This is something you practice all the time. Practice using your mind to get relief as however you need it. So I've used that for the massage sensation, and I've used it for the ice pack sensation. Okay, just the other day, it was like, it's kind of sore, it's kind of hurting me, it's kind of bothering me. Maybe did too much on it today. Let's just put a little coolness where it needs to go. Again, because it was too deep for even the ice pack to get to. But I still used it when I was awake and up and about. But when I was in my bed, wanting to stay there, I used my mind to put the coolness there, to just imagine it's already cool. And I could feel that. And it relieved the knee. And a lot of the swelling is now down. So we use the power of the mind to keep ourselves healthy, because the sinuses are the first line of defense in your immune system. And I know I've said that over and over again. So we've stretched the face, we've stretched the sinuses apart, and now we're going to do something that I showed you in another video with my thumbs. As they lift the head, you can do this with your mind. Now, the purpose of lifting your head is to decompress that area between your skull, which sits right here, on your spine. So your head can move side to side, and back and forth, and do all those neat stretches I showed you in my other videos. But if it's compressed, it's going to pinch nerves, it's going to put knots in muscle, and all that tension is going to create tension up here as well. So we want to just pull this up a little bit. So you can do it physically here. And it feels great. And when I get major congestion, which is very rare these days, but this is my first thing I do. Just lift that up and decompress all that tension off of my spine. So, done that physically, let's try it with the mind. You can close your eyes. You can exhale. You're going to drop the shoulders. And you're going to mentally elevate that head just about 1/4 of an inch above your spine. So you don't have to go around headless. You don't have to imagine your head without a body, although if that works for you, go for it. But you can imagine the head just floats right above the spine. You can walk around this way. It will change your posture. It will change your presence in a room. See how that goes. Let me know. I'd love to hear what people say to you, how they respond back to you with that sort of posture that also exudes confidence. But more than anything, it's going to help keep those sinuses clear. And that's what we really want. So, try these techniques. I hope they work for you like they've worked for my students. It's a godsend to me, and here's how you can reach me. There's my email, traceyjude@msn.com, and then you can find me on Facebook, Tracey Jude. I'm doing this old school. I left technology many, many years ago and got back into music. Never looked back. So it's been a great, great gig. And I hope that these techniques help you enjoy your gig too. God bless every single effort. Bye-bye now.